Podcast City Network.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. Enjoy the show. It's wonderful.
Welcome to the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. I am the Everett Lee. Quick shout out to everyone who follows me on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett _Lee and Facebook.com/the Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up. And of course, Podcast City Network, the official host of the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, you see on your screen, I got two guys whose photo is on my screen right there tonight for this WrestleMania 35 pre-show prediction show, whatever show you want to call it. It's going to be talking about WrestleMania, and both my guests are pretty hyped up and excited about I am to get into discussion about this year's WrestleMania prediction show and this year's WrestleMania card, because this Sunday, April 7th, WrestleMania will be held in New York, New Jersey at the MetLife Stadium. I believe the show starts at 7 p.m. with a pre-show, and we are going to be talking about the matches, give our little thoughts on the predictions on who we think is going to win matches, and etc. If you've tuned into this before, you know what we are talking about. And I want to go ahead and introduce our guest for tonight. Returning back on the podcast. He hasn't been on in a while. He has not been on, and he's really not done too much with me lately because we've been so busy. I want to welcome back on the program tonight, host of the Chris Carnage Show and Final Score, Mr. Chris Carnage.
Hey fans, what's going on? It's awesome to be back on here with you. It's been a long time, Everett. Why haven't we done this in a while?
I don't know, man. We've been busy doing their own thing and everything.
Yeah, we really have. There's been a lot of crazy things going on. I haven't done Chris Carnage Show in a little bit, but the most recent episode we had Jeff Yeager on, rapper, wrestler, author, great guy, and of course Final Score. Oh man.
Yeah, you've been doing that. I mean, you know, everything with Final Score and stuff, which has just been freaking great. You've been knocking out of the park each week, you and Craig, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah,
it is awesome. And returning, he was on the last episode of the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. I want to welcome back to the program none other than the KZW, Kentucky's Own Wrestling United States Champion, the Chris Rose. How you doing, Chris?
What's going on, guys? How are you guys?
Oh, I'm great, man. We finally got that computer glitch taken care of.
Finally.
Yeah, the technicality of it. Oh.
Yeah, the Chris Roosevelt went to stepping. My patience is running thin, Everett. Don't let that happen again.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta be careful, Everett.
I know. I better be careful. I better be careful because I'll get beat just like his opponent got beat this past Saturday at double.
Yeah, just like Kenny Cannon. He's tried his third time trying to get my United States championship, and guess what? He came up short yet again, just like any other KZW superstar does going against the Chris Rose.
I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. You've held on to that championship and stuff. Might as well just basically just embed it in you because no one's going to be able to take it, man.
Yeah, at this point, my confidence is at a level nobody can reach, and nobody's going to get this championship from me.
No, no one.
Sit back and relax this weekend on my day off. Drink me a few of these blue moons and watch some wrestling.
There you go.
There you go.
Enjoy
man.
my vacation.
Let the champ be the champ and relax.
That's right. That's right. After double Danger 4, man, that double ring battle royal, that was just fantastic. Just the matches and everything that went on, and just the great talent at Kentucky's Own Wrestling, just knocking it out each and every month with the talent and with the shows and just the matches. It's amazing. That double ring battle royal, Chris Carnage, if you would have seen it, man, they both had women and men in there. And then, of course, they had quite a few single matches, just as the Chris Rose just mentioned, that he retained his United States Championship, and it's about over 100-some plus days. And
Yeah,
he's
I
the
should've
man.
done my homework, but yeah, I've held it well over 100 days, and 200 is my goal and plus. I'll also say that 2020 is my goal, but at this point in 2020, I don't think I'm going to lose it all the way to 2021. Because that's what Lee Chris Rose does. He wins at everything he does. And, tune in next week for KZW, because that's when our next show is, next Saturday in Shopville. I'll be going against the one and only Crutch, a guy I have some respect for, but once that bell rings, respect is out the window. I'm going to slap every bit of that face paint off his face and expose him for what he is, just a man, and a man that I will beat and retain my United States title.
Nice. What do you think there, Chris Carnage, man? The champ.
I tell you what, KZW has a lot of great talent up there, and it's really awesome to interact with the United States champion himself, Chris Rose. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to get in the ring with this guy.
No, you definitely don't. After you see the way he's victimized, like, I'm going to steal this from Paul Heyman. He basically, help me out here, Carnage. He victimized, demolished, destroyed his victims. He basically victimized them. They're no more. I don't know who's going to, Crutch. Good luck, man. You're going to need it.
I don't think Crutch has a chance, honestly. I think Chris Rose is going to keep on rolling and retain.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be great. It definitely is going to be interesting and great with the show. But
oh yeah,
I mean, we got a good show tonight. Talking about wrestling.
Definitely.
We got WrestleMania 35, man, this Sunday.
We do. Yeah, we're only days away, man. But you know what? Before we get to that, I do have a big announcement to make.
Okay.
So, as you know, like you said earlier, doing a lot of work with Final Score, bringing the latest in sports news to all the masses. Now, we've been having a great rising coming up. Now we're on Podbean, which you can find us, pcnfinalscore.podbean.com. Download our latest episodes. Now you can also find us on Spotify, which has been an awesome turn of events. Didn't expect to get on there so soon, but as I found out today, Final Score is now available on Google Play Music. So just go on to Google Play Music, search keyword Final Score, and listen to all your favorite episodes right now.
That's nice. That is awesome, man. Final Score's going all over the place. You're a sports fan. Real quick, I want to plug. You're a sports fan. You love up-to-date sports. Final Score is the podcast for you on Podcast City Network. Chris and Craig will bring you the latest sports happenings everywhere from NBA, NFL to MLB, etc. If it's a sport, they got it covered. And now they've reached out to another platform there, Google Play. I love it. I love it. I definitely do. That is awesome, man. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir.
Now, speaking of announcements and stuff that's been happening, I want to get you guys' take on this right here. WrestleMania, as the weeks have been building to this right here, WrestleMania, they've made announcements and stuff. And one of the things is that the pre-show, you're familiar with what goes on with the pre-show and everything and stuff. And one of the announcements they made for the pre-show was that the Cruiserweight Championship is going to be on a pre-show this year. You have Buddy Murphy going up against Tony Nese. And I don't know if you guys have been following 205 Live, though, but this been escalating for a while. You can tell it was going to go in this direction because how far Tony was up Buddy's, rear, and basically everything turning out the way it did. So I want to get you guys' take on this. I want to start with the champ first.
To be honest, I don't follow a lot of the 205 Live, but when I do watch the pay-per-views, Buddy Murphy does his thing with the Cruiserweight Championship. And my short and sweet prediction is Buddy Murphy retaining and prolonging his reign as the champ.
Nice. All right. Chris, Carnage.
Honestly, Buddy Murphy has been on a tear ever since he won the Cruiserweight Championship back in his hometown in Melbourne, Australia. And he literally has just been battling the best, trying to show that he is the best Cruiserweight champion out there. And Tony Nese, it's admirable. It's great that he won himself a little Cruiserweight Championship tournament to be able to face Buddy Murphy. But at the end of the day, Buddy Murphy's just going to keep on rolling because Buddy Murphy does what Buddy Murphy does.
Yeah, I definitely agree right there because Buddy Murphy, he's done great with that championship, and I believe he will retain against Tony Nese because I believe Buddy's done so much with the title. He's actually made it the title that everybody wants. Everybody wants that title. And it looks like he's going to hold on to that title for a long time because he's had a lot of great matches, a lot of talent on 205 Live. And he's been one of my favorites ever since he came on the program. So I'm looking forward to that right there. I definitely am. Now, I can't think off the top of my head on the notes right here about anything else on the pre-show, but I believe that I'm going to start here at the bottom on my notes here. We're going to start with some tag team title matches here. Basically, almost all the titles that's in the company is on the line, which I think it's great because this is WrestleMania. You got to have all the titles on the line. Now, I want to start off with the Revival going up against Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder for the Raw Tag Team Championships. All right. Now, Carnage. Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder.
I mean, it's a nice nostalgia piece to see him back together and tagging again, and it's gotten itself its little resurgence. And honestly, at this point, Kurt Hawkins kind of needed it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Revival are just the better tag team. They're the better wrestlers. They're putting on a much better show. So at the end of the day, I see Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson retaining these titles and showing Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder what's up.
Well, let me get your take on that, champ, Chris Rose.
Out of nowhere, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder get this title shot after the Revival's been going head-to-head with, I can't think of his, Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Ricochet and Aleister Black, they've been going head-to-head with them for a while. Then all of a sudden, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder gets the nod there. I think the Revival's great. They're a great tag team. They'll more than likely end up retaining, but you never know. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder's former tag team champions. They was with Edge. Now that was probably 11 years ago, but Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, they might pull it out and get the WrestleMania moment. But all in all, my final prediction is the Revival on this one.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go to Revival myself, though. But from what the rumor mill has been saying, that how Kurt Hawkins has been on this big losing streak. He's had like this big losing streak. Apparently, I'll believe it when I see it that the losing streak is going to end at WrestleMania.
But how many times have we seen the lose so many in a row and become champ angle actually work?
Yeah.
Come on
happened
now.
to Zack Ryder in 2016 with the Intercontinental Championship.
That's
out of nowhere won the championship and dropped it the very next night to the Miz.
Yeah.
Or you can even look at a guy like Jinder Mahal, who was on the most epic of losing streaks, and then next thing you know, he's WWE champion.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I'm definitely. We all agree. Revival, hands down. But yeah, it's.
But you never know.
If they, how would you guys react if Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder win the Raw Tag Team Championships and then they lose it on?
I wouldn't have a problem with it, quite honestly. I think, I've always been a fan of both guys. They work very hard.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Zack Ryder ever since he was in the Edgeheads with Kurt Hawkins.
Yes.
And I wouldn't hate on it. I wouldn't trash it. I think it'd be a pretty good moment for them. The place would go nuts. They really would. The building would explode if they won.
But one thing is, though, how long do you think that title reign would actually last?
Monday Night Raw, they will drop it.
24 hours. Yeah, just like you said, Chris Rose, like you just said. You said that basically Zack Ryder wins the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania a couple years ago, 2016. He wins it. That's his WrestleMania moment. He got his WrestleMania moment, and in the following night on Raw, he drops it to The Miz. Same thing is going to probably happen.
His one, though. He got his one.
He got his one. Yep.
He got his moment. That year in 2016, though, everybody was hurt. Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Cena.
Yeah, a lot of guys were sidelined.
Like, everybody missed that Mania, so Vince had to pull some stuff.
Yeah.
He
did.
He had to get some guys in that spot for that WrestleMania for that crowd to be into, and the crowd's always been behind Zack Ryder, so what better way to do than...
Exactly.
And he's a good worker too. He's a good
definitely.
Guy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's a great worker. He's fantastic. He is. Both guys are, and I'm fans of them. But yeah, we totally agree. The Revival, that's who we're pulling for. And the next tag team match, we got the SmackDown Fatal 4-Way tag team match. We have the Usos defending the championships against Ricochet, Aleister Black against The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, and of course Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. So I want to start with Chris Rose on this one.
Well, there's not really a story going into this. This match got announced this past Tuesday, and the Usos have been on an incredible run since they reinvented themselves into the Uso Penitentiary.
Yes.
And got rid of the dancing gimmick that they had. I could see the Usos retaining in this one and continuing their run. They certainly deserve it. So I'm going to go with the Usos on this one.
Okay. Carnage?
Honestly, I definitely could see the Usos winning this and retaining because this was a very last-minute announced match. So there's not really a lot of expectations when it comes to this. That and it's a fatal 4-way tag match. So it has that feeling of, throwing together last minute. But I feel like if WWE is really trying to push and have a new team be a part of the roster of tag teams that they have, I think having Aleister Black and Ricochet go over might not be a bad move because we've seen the Usos in the Bar. We've seen the Usos against Rusev and Shinsuke. We've seen these before. But having something fresh like a Ricochet, like an Aleister Black, I think that could be a little bit more rejuvenating for the tag division. So I'd like to see an upset here with Ricochet and Aleister Black.
That would be something right there. That would be an upset right there if that happens right there and they decide to pull 180 on that right there. I'd love to see Aleister Black and Ricochet win it though, but I feel that it's too soon. But however, I feel that
Well, this is WWE we're talking about.
And we gotta remember something. Ricochet and Aleister Black will be on NXT tomorrow night, going for the NXT tag titles.
That'd be an interesting angle.
This would be cool if they won the NXT titles and the SmackDown titles. That would be interesting.
Grand Slam weekend.
Oh yeah.
My second pick is Aleister Black and Ricochet, but I could see the Usos retaining though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The Usos. I'm gonna have to agree with you guys there because the Usos, they're holding on to the titles. They haven't really built much with them because of all the stuff that's been going on with Jimmy Uso, I believe, or Jay Uso with the DUI. You heard about that, Rose?
Yeah,
I
heard about that. Yeah, there's a video and everything on surfacing. But also, it's just so much going on. There's 16 matches. It's hard to fit everybody in because everybody wants that spot.
Right.
But yeah, more so to do with his personal life, as well.
Yeah, it is just, you notice they've not really had the champion on TV that much, and they haven't really built much of a story with the tag championship there on SmackDown. I feel like
Raw, just kind of flip flopping and just trying to get those guys in there some way somehow.
They are. They're trying to squeeze out. They're basically trying to take an orange and squeeze it into a lemon with the talent and everything that they're trying to get in here. I mean, that's the only analogy I can think of.
I love that analogy. That's a good one.
It is.
I thought you were going to go banana, but lemon. That's a good one.
If I go the banana route, I'm gonna have to go Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop. Sticking one up the tailpipe. But I mean,
okay, I'll deal with that later with HR and Human Relations for Podcast City Network.
You are HR.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Take it up with yourself. But yeah, I mean, we the tag championship, the tag title scene, and the tag team scene, basically on both shows, not really been built up lately because of a lot of stuff going on. But they like we just said, they're trying to take everything, throw it into one thing, and try to get many faces and also much talent.
Yeah, they've changed up management too.
Yeah,
going in after the Rumble, like everything changed.
Oh yeah,
they fired Arn Anderson. They hired Bruce Pritchard back.
I know,
and that should be interesting. And Jeff Jarrett's behind the scenes now, and this all happened after the Rumble.
Yeah,
so they're trying to.
And Jeff Jarrett, I thought was surprising.
That was surprising, but a good move as well.
Yes.
It's doing something different's not a bad thing if you do it right. But we'll see what happens. This Mania looks to be really fun, though.
Definitely.
It does. WrestleMania weekend's the best weekend.
Definitely. It is. But one thing we haven't mentioned is our host of WrestleMania, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss.
Oh yes.
How do you guys feel about that? I wanna get you guys' take on that. Alexa Bliss.
I honestly think she's still hurt. And this is a good way to insert her in the WrestleMania picture. And and her talk show is doing very good, I think. I don't even know what it's called right now. I can't even think of it. A Moment with Bliss.
Yes, a Moment with Bliss.
She's a very good character. I hope to see her back in the title picture when she's fully cleared to wrestle, because I really don't think she's fully cleared yet.
Yeah.
But I really think this is a good host. She's building it really good with how she's presenting herself. So it's going to be interesting.
It is.
That's definitely one thing I can agree with, just because, she hasn't been 100%, and I think they tried to broach that envelope, but she just wasn't ready to go. But I think it's part of a much larger thing that they're trying to do with including her in as the host, because obviously we've seen New Day and other people do the hosting, but this is one of the first females to do it. So I'll give you my take on that a little later.
Yeah, that's that's true. That's true. And like with with WrestleMania being in New York and stuff, they've been in there basically all week doing stuff, especially with Chris Carnage. With what's been going on with people coming in New York and stuff, and promoting and letting everyone know that WrestleMania is in their backyard and stuff. I have to. I'm going to share this with you guys. My niece, who lives in New York, randomly today sends me a text message, and hopefully she don't see this and she don't kill me for this, but she sent me this text message with this picture and said, "Recognize anyone in this picture?" And I looked. I was like, oh, "No way." I'll show you to you guys here.
All I see is blur.
Blur and is that Alexa?
It's girls.
Or
Is that Natalia?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's the only one I recognize. All the rest are
really
blurs.
bright, man.
The one in
I see a black dress.
That's
Fix your
Stephanie
lighting,
McMahon.
bud. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the black. And then
Okay, there's Titus O'Neil.
Titus
That's
O'Neil.
definitely Titus.
Yeah.
Can't miss that head.
My niece is right there, right next to
Nice.
Natalia. Yeah, you can't really see her. This is lodged. This camera, it sucks. But yeah, she sent that to me today, and she said they stopped in do some promotion for WrestleMania in the marketing there in Times Square, which I thought was great. So I was like, they're in full force trying to do stuff for Mania and everything. But
It's a spectacle. It's a week-long event now where you can go down and see vendors, get autographs, take all the pictures, buy all the merchandise. It's become a full-fledged thing, and they've been doing this heavy for actually over 10 years now. So
yeah.
it's crazy what it's become, because it went just from like this daily event to a weekend event. Now it's this week-long extravaganza that is kind of like the Super Bowl now, where it like pumps money into the local economy. So it's pretty crazy what it's become.
It is. It's been crazy, and what they do with it, and everything that they basically just, like you said, they promote money into it, and they get a lot of people tune in and come in from all over the world just for this, which is great, which is really great. Now, talking about women, we got a women's and men's battle royal. Want to get your guys' take on this. Carnage, who's going to win the women's battle royal?
Well, looking at the lineup, there's a lot of women that really could slot in, especially ones that WWE have been trying to push recently. But when it comes down to it, there's really only one woman I see walking out of this as the winner, and that's Asuka. She's no longer SmackDown Women's Champion. That's part now of the triple threat that they have, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But now Asuka has nothing. So what better way to try and be like, hey, sorry, you don't have a title anymore, by letting her win the Battle Royal? Because she's not only going to go in there and win it, she's going to go in there and dominate it.
Right. You want to add to that, Chris Rose?
I'm going to go with the lady that got called up from NXT, made her debut at the Rumble, the lady who's been walking to the ringside and going right back to the entranceway. And hopefully she doesn't do that at WrestleMania. Hopefully she actually gets in there and does something. I'm going to go with Lacey Evans.
Nice choice. Nice choice right there. Lacey Evans. Yeah, she's not. I'm gonna have to put my 2 cents in on that right there. She's not done anything yet. Like you said, she's walked to the ring, showed up, turned around, and walked off. And she's basically, that's all she's done. She's turned heads. Nothing else. Nothing else. She's turned heads. And it would be something if she wins, and then the following night on Monday Night Raw, she actually has her first match. You know, she hasn't wrestled. She has not wrestled.
And she has a really good background. She was in the military. The promo she did at the Rumble was really good too. I think she'll be a good character and a good challenger for like a Charlotte or a Becky. You know, I could see her coming out of nowhere and winning this Battle Royal.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that happening. That could be something. Someone that you don't expect to win, which you pick, Chris. And then Carnage picks someone like Asuka, who's like you said,
It's a good pick.
Yeah, it's good. Two really good picks. Really good picks. The women, I mean, I was looking at how they were promoting and teasing this past Tuesday on SmackDown, Asuka, and that would have to be my pick right there. Asuka's my pick right there. But I do like to surprise, have it be someone that you wouldn't expect to win it. I love it. I love it. I definitely do. Now, for the men, Chris Rose, who do you pick for the men to win this one?
I'm about to go with the guy who's been promoting the whole thing, Braun Strowman.
Okay.
He's been kind of, the storyline behind the Rumble is with him and the two guys from Saturday Night Live. I'm going to have to go with Braun Strowman on this one.
Okay. Chris? Carnage?
Honestly, I would have to agree with Chris Rose here on this one. Braun Strowman has really been the only one promoting this at all, and like he said, with the Saturday Night Live connection now, I really feel it's all for him, and it's something to kind of keep feeding him until he eventually becomes champion. But yeah, definitely going to be Braun Strowman in this one.
Okay. I definitely would have to agree with you guys on there. Braun Strowman, the way they've been building it and promoting it and everything and stuff, I believe that's basically what's been happening right there, because they've teased it. You know how they are. They tease it like someone's going to win it, and then eventually they win it, or they not win it and do a swerve. But, yeah, Strowman, yeah, he's going to beat the crap out of everyone, and he's going to beat the crap out of the Wrestlemania guy. I mean, the Saturday Night Live guys. Honestly, who the hell are these guys from Saturday Night Live?
I don't watch Saturday Night Live, so
I don't either. I've not watched Saturday Night Live since the late 90s and early 2000s. That's it. Last time I really watched the Saturday Night Live was when you had Will Ferrell on there, and I forget the rest of the cast on there. Like Jim Brewer was on there. Just great talent on there. And that's basically the last time I watched for Saturday Night Live. And I've watched, actually, my nephew actually showed me a video of a latest Saturday Night Live. I think it was like last year, a couple years ago. And he's sitting there laughing his butt off. I'm looking at him. I was like, boy, you smoke some crack, because this shit ain't not funny. It's like, wow. I was like, it's not. I was like, what are you laughing about? He's like, dude, this is hilarious. I'm like, no, it's not. You know what hilarious is? Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, Jim Brewer. Just I grew up on that, so that's why that's Saturday Night Live. I like right there. But Strowman, what do you think he's going to do to these guys?
Oh man,
what do you think?
It's gonna be bad.
What do you think he's gonna do to these guys in the battle royal? It's
a lot of pain.
I think he's gonna overhead press them into the other guys on the floor.
Definitely that.
Yeah, he already destroyed their car, so yeah, Strowman's gonna win this one, and he's dominant, and that's my pick right there. Now, okay. All right. I'm looking at my notes here. I got them like shrunk down here. I got them kind of a little congested here, so bear with me here. All right. Since we're talking about, let's jump back into talking about women real quick. I want to talk about the women's tag team championship match. You have the Boston Hug Connection, Bayley and Sasha Banks, going up out of retirement. WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix and Natalya going up against the Iconics, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, versus Nia Jax and Tamina in the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Title match. Man, so many multi-matches, tag matches. I just
So
gotta
many.
say that. I just got to say that right there. Now, Chris, Carnage, we get your take on this, man.
Man, looking at this, it's yet another, I feel like, thrown together match. Even though this has a little bit more of a history to it, and it's nice with the Beth Phoenix aspect of this, just because she is a phenomenal talent. Has always been able to always bring the best, especially at WrestleMania. So, but I don't see her and Natalia being able to pull off the giant upset. I would feel like. Honestly, I feel like the Boston Hug Connection are going to retain the titles here at WrestleMania.
Okay. Chris Rose, get your take on this.
The only team in this story-wise has been Nia Jax and Tamina have been kind of feuding with the Boston Hug Connection a little bit.
Right.
But there's not really a story, and I don't know why this guy got thrown together with the first ever women's tag team. There should have been a good story to build up to this, but unfortunately there isn't. So I'm going to have to go with Boston Hug retaining as well. But it is good to see Beth Phoenix back. She was ahead of her time.
Oh, yeah.
In the Divas division. She was definitely the best one. And her and Natalia teaming again is a very good for the WrestleMania aspect of it. But yeah, Boston Hug Connection is retaining in this one. They're legit, quote unquote.
I like it. Nice. I'm gonna have to go with you guys right there again, man. We're like 3 for 3 already. Or 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 already. We're all on the same page, which I like. Because Boston Hug, I feel that they're going to hold on to those titles for a while. Because if you notice, they've finally went over to SmackDown a few weeks ago. And that's what drew in the Iconics into this match. And then they have not actually been back to NXT to actually defend the titles there, because they've did it on Raw and they showed up on SmackDown. They've not gone to NXT yet. I think that's the last place they're going to have to go and do something with before they lose the titles. But yeah, Boston Hug, yeah, I believe they have not really built it up except with Nia and Tamina. And if they pull a 180, we're basically Nia Jax and Tamina get the titles, I'm going to be like, damn. But Boston Hug all the way, baby. I throw some Adam Cole in there, man. Gotta love them. Now,
oh, yeah.
Now, I want to get in and mention this match right here. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Chris Rose. Roman Reigns has come back from leukemia, and Drew McIntyre, basically out of what was left of the faction that was Corbin, Lashley, and McIntyre. McIntyre has basically still kept on that path of going after Roman Reigns. What's your thoughts on this one, man?
Well, it all really started when Ambrose and Rollins won the tag titles from McIntyre and Dolph.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean turned on Seth. And, ever since that time, Drew McIntyre's took credit to breaking up the Shield.
Right.
And yes, Roman Reigns went off to get his cancer cured. And by the way, I'm really glad that happened.
Yes.
Because Roman
definitely.
Reigns is a great competitor. He's at that John Cena level now. But back to the story, Drew McIntyre takes a lot of credit for breaking up the Shield. Yeah. And yes, he did go with Lashley and Elias and all those guys. Took out Braun Strowman for some months. And then when Roman Reigns came back, he kind of took to Roman Reigns. And, as much as I would love to see Roman Reigns win Sunday, I'm going to go with the swerve. And I'm going to pick Drew McIntyre in this. Which either way would be fine, but they have to eventually push Drew McIntyre because he has the best look.
Yes.
Everything about him is star.
Right.
I mean, he's a star. And I think it's about time they do something with Drew McIntyre because Roman Reigns is already at that top level. So him losing Sunday does not hurt him at all.
No.
So I think Drew McIntyre should win Sunday, and that is my prediction.
I like it. Carnage, what are your thoughts on that match right there, man?
Honestly, it's a very interesting matchup, and obviously it's been very, very personal given everything that has happened. Basically, like Chris Rose said, since the tag titles were taken. So looking at this thing as a whole, there's a lot of build-up that they've had with this match. And like Chris Rose also said, Drew McIntyre is a star. This guy is money. There was a reason he was being pushed by Vince back in the day as his next destined, superstar.
Oh, yeah.
So with that, Drew McIntyre, I feel definitely could go over Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has transcended, especially since coming back from leukemia, which also I'm very happy to hear that he did. And definitely commend him. He's definitely a great competitor, and he comes from a long line of great wrestlers. But the thing I look at is that he now has transcended, so he is kind of untouchable in a lot of ways. So him losing at Mania definitely does not hurt him at all. And Drew McIntyre is a guy who is going to be a champion, whether it be on Raw, whether it be on SmackDown. Doesn't really matter. He's going to be a champion. So him going over Roman Reigns helps push Drew McIntyre to a whole nother level, especially on the stage like WrestleMania.
Exactly. I'm definitely going to have to go with McIntyre in this one because they're giving him the push. I feel that McIntyre is going to get it because I feel that they're going to build something else for Roman. They're going to build something else, after Mania for Roman. And basically, I feel that Roman will be going after probably someone in particular, but more on that later.
Yeah, the winner of this match will definitely go after the winner of the Universal Championship.
Yeah,
the winner
definitely.
of this match will definitely go after one of the two.
Yeah, it definitely will. Now, another non-title match, we have AJ Styles versus the Viper, Randy Orton. You have the phenomenal forearm versus the RKO out of nowhere. So, Carnage, what do you think about this right here? The phenomenal one going up against the Viper.
Well, one thing I got to say is I'm very happy to see Randy Orton kind of looking like almost 2004, 2005 Orton now, because he got really slender after that, and then he got kind of weirdly shaped, and now he kind of filled back out, and he's like an older version. So kudos to him getting back properly in shape like he used to be.
Right.
But all that aside, this is going to be a really great matchup just because AJ Styles is such a phenomenal, pun fully intended, competitor, and he really brings it. He, in my opinion, is the best in the world, and he always brings it, especially for WrestleMania. And Randy Orton is a consummate vet. He's been around forever, it seems like. I think we're pushing 17 years now.
Yes.
And he also always brings his A game, especially at WrestleMania, and now he's having fun wrestling again. So I'm definitely excited to see what kind of insanity they're going to pull off for this, because I know there's going to be an RKO coming out of nowhere. So kind of interested to see what they pull off. But in this one, I'm going to actually have AJ Styles going over, because now that I think dust has settled with contract talks, he's going to start moving back forward and might get back in the main event scene.
I agree. That sounds awesome. Chris Rose, get your...
before the Kofi Mania started, AJ and Orton did a promo on SmackDown man, it made me want AJ Styles still have that championship, and these two go after the title, because both of these two are great. It's one of those unpredictable matches. You don't know who's going to win. You can't really put a finger on it.
Oh, definitely.
And
Yes.
I love both guys. AJ Styles is a guy who I followed in his TNA all the way to his WWE debut that I popped big time for because it was out of nowhere. Just like Randy Orton, his RKO is out of nowhere.
Yes.
Randy Orton is someone who I've loved so many years too. Evolution, all the way to Legacy, all the way to what he is now, the Viper. You know, I honestly don't know who to go for, but my pick is Randy Orton. I'm going to go with the Viper on this one, the RKO. Out of nowhere. I kind of like Randy Orton a little bit more than AJ,
Yes.
but it's an unpredictable match. But this is a prediction show, so I'm going to go with Randy Orton.
Snap. Heard it here first.
Nice. I love both competitors. They're fantastic in the ring. I've watched Randy Orton's career over the last, like Chris said, 17 years.
17 years.
Jeez. Yeah, he's finally captured every title in WWE. So he has nothing else to prove except be in the ring, have a great time, and put on some phenomenal, no pun intended, matches. So I love how AJ, AJ was up in the air there for a while. Is he going to sign with WWE or is he going to go to AEW? What's going to happen? And he resigned, and therefore I feel that I'm going to have to go with the phenomenal one on this one, as much as I love Orton, because I feel that AJ basically is going to move on to other things than after Orton, because, I mean, hell, he could go after another U.S. title run, or actually, superstar shakeup. He may be thrown over on Monday Night Raw. You never know.
Snap.
You never know, man. You just never know. But great predictions from both Chris Rose and Chris Carnage. I love it. Now, another non-title match. Actually, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. Let's talk about Shane McMahon, Shane O'Mac going up against The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Chris Rose.
This is a very interesting match. The story behind it has been very good. A little bit predictable, but very good. Shane McMahon as a heel is very entertaining.
Yes.
The Miz babyface run is very good. It's a long time coming because the fans, are starting to gravitate towards the Miz. In this match right here, I'm going to go with Shane McMahon, though, to prolong this. I don't think this will be the only match we will see from these guys. I think there will be another one. But I think Shane's going to jump off a 60-feet stage or something and beat The Miz. I mean, that's why it's Falls Count Anywhere, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to get Shane set up in something.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, there you go.
All right. Carnage.
So what's crazy about it is I was going to say a lot of the same things. Just because of the fact, you look at this has been a very well-built storyline. It's something that's been very intriguing, and they've actually done things, I feel like, that actually surprised me. Turning Miz face, which, like Chris Rose mentioned, has been long overdue.
Yes.
Because we definitely see what he could do back when he was really getting hot in his heel run, especially when he was calling out Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack and all that kind of all that kind of stuff that was going on. So it's great to see him be able now to have the respect of the fans, be able to turn face, and then have Shane McMahon turn heel, which is something else I didn't expect. He's been so loved ever since he came back. He was always the favorite McMahon, and now him as a heel is very, very entertaining. So this will be a really great match. it definitely is Falls Count Anywhere because Shane McMahon is going to do something, and it's going to be crazy because it's WrestleMania. So really excited to see what that is. And I also will have to go with Shane McMahon in this match.
All right. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I agree with you guys definitely about Shane McMahon. But however, with The Miz, like Chris Rose said, his babyface run and his babyface time is long overdue, and it's about time that has happened because Miz right now, I feel, is one of the hottest superstars right now on the SmackDown brand for the fact that he has a #1 reality show on USA Network, and 2, I mean, he has a hot wife, and 3, that a lot of people love The Miz and they're behind him, and I feel that Miz should get some retribution for what the Shane did to his dad, for God's sakes, man. Because if I was in his shoes and that same thing happened, I would have been going after Shane. I'd gun ho after him for messing with my family, man.
That's why I love when WWE pulls this angle, and they've done it quite a few times, especially like with John Cena and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see when they do that and be able to pull those types of people in to really push the angle. And that's what I love, the little touches, touches.
Yeah, little touches like that. That's what makes it great, though. But I'm going to have to go to The Miz on this one, on the Falls Count Anywhere match. And I agree with you, Chris Rose. Shane will probably end up getting on top of the Titantron. Like he did Jeff Hardy.
We'll see a big spot from Shane O'Mac, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely
but
see.
If The Miz loses, it make him even a bigger baby face. The fans will have more sympathy towards him, and that will make The Miz even more upset to go after Shane. I think this is not the first time we'll see these guys fail. Well, there will be a second match.
Absolutely.
But if The Miz wins, that would be awesome as well. I've always been a fan of The Miz.
Yes.
But we'll see what happens Sunday.
Yeah, we definitely will. Sunday's going to be great, man. Definitely Sunday's going to be great. And real quick, I want to throw out basically a word. Well, that shouldn't be right there. There we go. I want to throw out a word for our sponsors real quick here on Podcast City Network. So you can find more of the sponsors mentioned in this short promo here on podcastcity.net. You can follow more Podcast City Network around Facebook, Podcast City Network, and on Twitter at Podcast City Net. Be sure to subscribe to Podcast City Network on YouTube, on their YouTube channel, and right here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. Be sure to subscribe to Podcast City Network right here on Twitch. And we're going to take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, and we're going to discuss more with the WrestleMania matches with Kentucky Zone Wrestling's United States Champion, the Chris Rose, and Chris Carnage of the Chris Carnage Show and Final Score. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
The following support and sponsor Podcast City Network. City Limits Tap Room, sports bar in DeLand, Florida, has brew on tap, serve food, the grilled cheese is excellent. For upcoming events, check out City Limits Tap Room on Facebook.com/City Limits Tap Room. Atlantic Sounds has thousands of new and used vinyl records and CDs. If they don't have it, they can order it for you. same location since 1982. For more updates on what's new, check out Atlantic Sounds on Facebook.com/Atlantic Sounds Vinyl. Sports Sanity Customs have worked with organizations from custom embroidering polo shirts to jerseys for your kids' baseball team. They do it all. Armed with state-of-the-art equipment and an in-house design team, they are equipped to take on your next project. Visit their website to learn more, sportsanitycustoms.com. Visit Sports Sanity Customs on Facebook.com/SportsSanityCustoms. 3Count Design offers a wide range of graphic design products, video, photography and other forms of media. Everything from t-shirt designs to websites. Visit Facebook.com/3CountDesign for more. Demo Blast Studios, an explosion of imagination. Original artwork, podcasts, video, apparel and more. Visit DemoBlastStudios.com. Visit Demoblast Studios on Facebook.com/Demoblast Studios, the best family entertainment pro wrestling show in the state of Kentucky. Kentucky's Own Wrestling brings quality family vintage wrestling to a town near you. Kentucky's Own Wrestling offers a ladies division in wrestling and a training school. Kentucky's Own Wrestling is the current longest running Southern promotion. Visit Facebook.com/Somerset Kentucky's Own Wrestling. All supporters and sponsors are brought to you by Podcast City Network.
Welcome to the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. Enjoy the show. It's wonderful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for everyone listening and viewing tonight on this podcast brought to you by Podcast City Network. Now, guys, you got your drinks, because this is one hell of a card. I want to mention right now, 17 matches. God dang.
It's a long mania.
It's a long mania. It's a long mania. I could see this thing going on into midnight or after midnight with this, you know, given the time period for the matches and everything. It's
gonna
insane.
be a long one.
It's insane. It definitely is. But one thing I want to mention now, since we talked about single matches, that's non-title matches, I want to continue that and save the 2 title matches for last. Okay. I want to talk about Kurt Angle's farewell match. His last match here.
I have thoughts.
There's been a cloud of smoke around this, okay? I want to mention, I want to start this one off, okay? That when it was announced that maybe John Cena may be his last opponent in his last match at WrestleMania, I was excited about that. But then I feel like they're blowing smoke up her ass that it's like John Cena has plans for WrestleMania, but it's not that. But maybe they're throwing us off, maybe they're not, though. But if him going against Corbin, I feel like a swerve's going to happen in this match, and I'm going to have to go with whoever Kurt Angle goes up against, like we've seen in retirement matches. I want to go back to the WrestleMania in Orlando with Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair in his retirement match there. And Flair ended up getting retired by the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Now, I feel that Angle is going to basically come out maybe on top with everything going on, or with everything that's happening, or vice versa. But I feel that Angle, honestly, may get a win on this. I want to go around and get your take on it. We'll start with Carnage.
All right, so looking at this match as a whole, the first thing I thought of was Baron Corbin is not the greatest talent. He's not bad. He's not great. So I feel him being selected as the retirement match of the one and only Kurt Angle fell horrifically short of what it should be, which makes me think that it definitely is a smokescreen scenario and something's going to happen at Mania where Baron Corbin gets attacked or something of that nature, or is missing or is late, or whatever kind of angle WWE will try to pull. And I still think it's going to be John Cena because it only makes sense given John Cena debuted against Kurt Angle way back in the Ruthless Aggression era, and that John Cena inducted Kurt Angle, and the type of relationship that they have had over both of their careers. So it only makes sense for it to be John Cena, and I think they're trying to save it as a surprise, given a lot of people think that John Cena won't be involved, given the injury he suffered before the Royal Rumble.
Right.
So, and you can't let Kurt Angle go out against Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. However, WWE has done crazier and dumber things. So, you never know. However, I'm going to say that John Cena does come out. Baron Corbin will not be involved in the match whatsoever, and it will be Kurt Angle versus John Cena, and I'm going to say Kurt Angle goes out on top, respectfully, in his last match at WrestleMania.
Okay. I like it. Chris Rose, give me your thoughts on that.
I agree with you guys. Baron Corbin should not be his farewell match opponents. It makes sense in a way because when Baron Corbin was the acting general manager, he made Kurt Angle's life hell on TV. But I feel like Kurt Angle will face Corbin, but beat him really quick. He will get on the microphone. He will say, this guy was easy, blah, blah, blah. If anybody back there has any ruthless aggression, you can come on, John Cena will come out eventually. I think they will redo the ruthless aggression promo after he beats Corbin within like a minute or two. And John Cena will come out. Huge pop. They'll have a match. Kurt Angle will come out on top respectfully because, yes, Carnage, I forgot about Kurt Angle getting inducted by John Cena. So, yes, that would make sense at WrestleMania, John Cena versus Kurt Angle. But Baron Corbin will be involved, but I feel like it would be really short. And Kurt Angle will get back on the microphone, call out someone from the back, and John Cena will accept. But, yes, Kurt Angle will be the winner in his farewell match.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. We agree that Kurt Angle is going to come out on top on this farewell match. I like it. I definitely like it. And talking about retirement, let's talk about the game. Triple H going up against Batista. I'm gonna quit, man. I'm sorry. I'm laughing about that. Because I still picture that. I'm sorry, Chris. Carnage, and he's in that wheelchair and he's sitting there. I'm gonna quit if you don't quit laughing.
So that's why Batista's a pretty good actor. He did that really well. I like that.
I mean, he was Drax the Destroyer for a reason in Avengers, so...
Yeah, he's good.
He definitely is.
Yeah.
I've always been a Batista fan.
Yeah.
So.
He's great. He's great. Batista and Triple H. I mean, the history with that right there, you have the game. He brought in two fresh talents. Okay. He brought in the Animal Batista. He brought in Viper, or at the time, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. And look what happened. Evolution broke up. Okay, this is the third time that Triple H, or second time Triple H had a faction, and it broke up, and you seen where Orton went, and you seen where Batista went. You basically, with this match, you got Drax the Destroyer going up against Thanos, as people would call it there. And I want to get your take on this, starting you off, Chris since you mentioned Batista there, about to 2010 with him whining and crying in the wheelchair in the ring and stuff. Now, this no holds bar match, these two right here, they've kind of built up the story. I mean, they did because it started on the SmackDown 1000 episode when Evolution showed up, and with what Batista said, the comments, Triple H is like, I beat them all. I beat Sting, and I beat this, and Batista's like, you never beat me, which he never beat him at Mania, and that's where Batista won his first world title against the game Triple H. What's your take on this, man? This build for this feud with these guys?
Man, this is Triple H getting his one-off a year. But it is nice to kind of see Batista come back and be able to work another program, kind of in between all the filming he's doing with like Avengers Endgame and the other projects that he's on. But it's kind of cool that they're playing back to the fact that he never beat Batista. But Triple H has done it all. There's no need for him to keep on wrestling. I mean, he's just going to take over the company once Vince steps away or anything worse. So, but it's nice to see. It's a nice nostalgia thing, kind of get that Evolution connection, which, we've seen Evolution pop up a couple times over the past year or so. So, it's a nice little nod and be able to, dredge up that little statistic to be able to work it into a match. So, but I'm going to go with my man Triple H, who's going to win, probably via pedigree, and be able to put Batista away for the 1, 2, 3 on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania.
Yes. Chris Rose, get your take on this, man.
And like you said, Everett, it all started on SmackDown 1000, the slow build to their match.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2014, Batista had a little off return because of Punk leaving and Daniel Bryan being so popular. Batista his run did not work out the way he wanted it to, or the company wanted it to, because everybody was so focused on Punk and Bryan. And this match makes sense because in past podcasts that I've listened to, Batista's always wanted his last match or a match again with Triple H at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think Triple H is done in ring. Triple H still has a lot of miles left in the tank.
Yeah.
Triple H is in very good shape for what his age is. And they have done a very good build to this match. Batista's promo on Raw was short and sweet. To the point, very old school style promo. I loved it. I believe that Triple H will go out on top, though. I think that Batista's last match will be in the WWE Sunday against Triple H. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably one of my most look forward to matches this pay-per-view. But I'm going to go with the game Triple H pedigree finish, just like Carnage said.
Yeah. I see Triple H beat Batista, and that's it. But because Triple H, if you remember at WrestleMania 29, when Triple H went up against Brock Lesnar, and he put his career on the line. This is like what?
Yep.
This is like what, the second time he's had to put his career up on the line on the match?
Oh, no big deal.
I mean, yeah, no big deal. Yeah, Triple H will come out on top. Everyone's pulling for Triple H because he will defeat Batista. And like you said, Chris Rose, I agree with you. Triple H still has more to give and to do in the company. And with being in-ring, he still has a lot to give. We know what he does behind the scenes, but actually doing something in the ring and stuff, yeah, he still has it. He still has gas in the tank, is what Steve Austin would say. Hell yeah, he still does. He definitely does. Now, with the first right here of these title matches, these single title matches, which we haven't talked about yet. Now, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. I do want to mention Rey Mysterio is injured right now. They're still going to have this match. They're still going to go on with Samoa Joe defending the United States Championship against Rey Mysterio. Chris Rose, I'm going to get your take on this.
You know, healthy Rey Mysterio or slightly injured Rey Mysterio, I believe that Samoa Joe was going to come out on top in the first place. But yes, I heard about the injury. I hate to hear that, though, because the fans really want to see this match, I believe. I believe it's going to be a show stealer as well. It's the first time ever, I believe. But yeah, they've done this is a match kind of thrown together as well. I mean, but I'm excited to see these two guys go at it. But I'm going to go with Samoa Joe tapping them out. Coquina clutch.
I definitely agree right there. Carnage, let's get your take on that.
Honestly, I have to agree as well, just because, this match was kind of thrown together last minute. And like Chris Rose mentioned, slightly injured Rey Mysterio, healthy Rey Mysterio, it doesn't matter. The guy's a consummate professional and will always give his best, especially at Mania, which, interesting fact, he was able to beat JBL in less than a minute for a championship once, WrestleMania 25, you might have heard of it. So, anything is possible. However, I do feel that Samoa Joe is a more superior competitor and will be able to catch Rey Mysterio out of nowhere if necessary, and be able to lock in the Coquina clutch, as Chris Rose said, and end this match for the 1-2-3.
I definitely agree. I feel that this is going to be one of the squash matches. It's going to be like bam, 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 since he's already injured. Get it in there, get it done, go with it. And then we'll see what they do with Samoa Joe and the U.S. title, man. Maybe the following Tuesday on SmackDown, maybe R-Truth may be coming back out with Carmella going after that U.S. Championship. Who knows?
You never know.
Who knows? But who knows what's going to happen right there. But I want to mention Bobby Lashley going up against Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Rose is already shaking his head. Were you shaking your head there?
No, I was just scratching my beard.
Oh, okay. Because when I was mentioning, you're like, you're going, oh, man.
Oh, no, I'm looking forward to this one. Oh, yeah.
Carnage. You have Bobby Lashley with the annoying Leo Rush. I can't stand it. It makes my ears bleed when he comes out there. My man, Bobby Lashley. It's like, shut up. I can't.
Hey, that's his man. But at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
But Leo Rush is good at what he does.
Hate him.
Yeah,
that's right. Because if you hate him, he's doing his job. But at the end of the day, this match is one that they've tried to kind of build, but I feel it's kind of fallen short of what it could have been. And now they've resorted to bringing out the Demon to try and give this a little bit more excitement. I feel this match could be decent. Just kind of depends. I think a lot of it's going to really rest on Finn Balor to be able to carry it a little. But Finn Balor, I feel, could go over in this match and will go over to try and capture another WrestleMania moment.
I agree. Rose, your take on it?
Yeah, these guys have been feuding for a little while, and they brought back the Demon King, but what doesn't make sense to me is why he didn't use it against Brock at the Rumble.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I think he should have done that at the Rumble. The fans would have been more into it. Not that it wasn't a bad match. It was a good match, I thought. But I think that the Demon King here just came out of nowhere. And the Demon King is undefeated. He's never been beat. And I think that will continue after WrestleMania. It's going to be a good match, I believe. I like both guys. Always been a fan of Finn Balor. Bobby Lashley has a good look. I like Leo Rush as well. But my final pick is the Demon King going over.
Yeah, I agree right there. I agree that the Demon King will come out and he will destroy Bobby and Leo. I feel Leo will get involved. And if you noticed, when Finn Balor is the Demon King, his wrestling style is basically changed up when he becomes the demon, because it's like all let loose, man. Correct me if I'm wrong about this. This will be the first time that at a WrestleMania we see Finn Balor dressed up as the demon.
Correct.
It is.
Yes, it will be the very first.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because wasn't it last year or a couple years ago that he didn't dress up as the demon? It was last year, actually, when he had that triple threat with Rollins.
With The Miz and Rollins.
Yeah, that's right.
He was Balor Club, Finn.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He was Balor Club. I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean,
that's what I like about the Finn Balor character. He has that alter ego. That's something nobody has. And I think he needs to use the Demon King a lot more than he does. Yeah. But I guess it kind of works because he brings it out of nowhere, and that gets the fans all crazy.
Yeah.
But I do like that character, and I can't wait to see Finn Balor back in that Universal title picture as well.
Oh, I'd love it too.
He's one of the most over guys in the company. Yeah. The fans really gravitate to him. And it'll be interesting to see the Sunday with him and Bobby. It'll be a fun match.
It will. It definitely will. It definitely will. I know one match you're talking about behind. A lot of people are behind this guy. Kofi Kingston will be going up against Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Man, all I got to say is this one will not be fickle. It will not be one of those right there. You have the world's meanest pissed off vegan going up against New Day's Kofi Kingston. Now, who did I start off with last time?
Me.
Carnage.
So I guess that goes this one off. To me.
Yes. Start this one off, man. Kofi against Bryan for the WWE Championship.
Looking at this match, I am very happy that Kofi Kingston is getting a shot. He has been with the company over 10 years and has always given his all and has done anything the company has asked him. He's always been a great, consummate professional and has always found his little niche wherever he could, whether it was with the New Day or whether it was with all his crazy antics during Royal Rumble matches, all kinds of different things that he's done. And his athleticism is honestly one of the best. But I just thought it was very interesting the way they kind of did the bait and pull tactic with him in the lead up to WrestleMania on getting a WWE Championship opportunity, and of course the Elimination Chamber and how that went. So, which was great. It was amazing, but obviously we know how it ended, and it was cool kind of seeing Vince get involved as well in the storyline and in the build to this match. So I'm very interested to see how it's going to go, because I've heard a lot of rumors that Kofi may go over and actually get a small little run as, kind of a reward for being with the company and, have a little feud with Daniel Bryan, who is a great consummate professional himself and is always about pushing guys, because John Cena took a chance on Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan could take a chance on Kofi Kingston. So why not? You never know. Things happen once you win a title and you get support of the fans. So looking at this match, I honestly do think they are going to give Kofi Kingston his shine, and he is going to win this match in an upset and have his huge WrestleMania moment. And this will not be the last match. This will just be a first in a series of matches between Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan for the WWE title.
I'd say best of 3. I just want to throw my 2 cents in there.
I'd say 3.
Yeah, definitely. Chris Rose, get your take on this, man.
Yes, it all started back when Mustafa Ali was feuding with Daniel Bryan, and Ali got hurt out of nowhere, and they kind of threw Kofi in there, and the fans really loved it. They got behind Kofi, reminiscence of Daniel Bryan back in 2013 and 14. The fans got behind him, and it's kind of awesome to see Daniel Bryan calling Kofi a B-plus player when the Authority was calling Daniel Bryan a B-plus player. So it's really good story behind this. Like you guys said, Elimination Chamber, everybody thought Kofi would have got Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan, of course, came out victorious. But I could see, Kofi winning this Sunday, and that is my pick. Kofi needs to have his long overdue WrestleMania moments. I think they should have done something with him in 2009 at Madison Square Garden when he did that stuff with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Kofi Kingston has always been a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they've flip-flopped around with him. And I think this Sunday they will give him the WWE Championship. And I think later on down the line, Kofi Kingston will hold it a little longer than what people expect. And I think the New Day and Kofi Kingston will start to fade away in the near future. I think they could do a real good storyline with those guys. But like Everett said, I think Daniel Bryan and Kofi will be a 3-match trilogy.
Yeah.
I think for the championship. And we'll see how it goes. But yes, definitely Kofi will get his WrestleMania moment Sunday.
He will. I feel that, Kofi's going to win it. Now, here's a question. Kofi wins the WWE Championship. Now, does the Freebird rule still apply? With the New Day. You know how they did that with the tag team championship match? I mean, championship belts there?
Yes.
With the New Day. Now, is that going to apply to the New Day now? We'll see Big E defending the WWE Championship, and then we'll see Xavier Woods defend it, and Kofi defend it.
Oh, my gosh. That's just pandemonium.
There's something to think about there, too. I thought I would throw that in there for you guys. But, Kofi Mania, man, is going to win this one. Hands down. Now, we mentioned this earlier with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, the Beast Slayer, going up against the defending Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Brock Lesnar. What's your take on this one, Chris Rose?
I really like Brock Lesnar. I like how Vince has this character in place where he's a part-timer. It's good heat for the crowd. Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, has gained so much momentum and popularity ever since, reuniting with the Shield and everything. The Burn It Down gimmick. It's been really good. I think Seth Rollins has really came into his own. And yes. I don't know if Brock Lesnar will be around for a while. So I see Seth coming out on top and becoming the Universal Champion.
I agree. We're right there. I agree. I just have to throw that in there. Carnage.
This match. They definitely have given it some build. I think it was kind of interesting to start the whole thing off with giving Seth Rollins not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not even 5, but 6 F5s. And it's had this crazy build to it. And it's kind of intriguing just because, Seth Rollins is a smaller guy, and they're really trying to push the fact that Seth Rollins is going to try and be fearless through all this. But I still think it's going to end up falling short, and I think Brock Lesnar is going to go over and beat Seth Rollins and then turn around and lose the title shortly thereafter. But at Mania, though, I think Lesnar goes over.
Yeah. I feel that with Chris, Rollins is going to get the championship. They're going to pull it off of Brock. They're going to put it on Rollins, but Rollins is going to have help. He's going to have help. I feel that Roman Reigns, his theme music is going to hit, and he's going to start making his way down the ramp. While he's making his way down the ramp, Lesnar's going to get out of the ring, and he's going to jump out of the ring there after he victimized Rollins while Rollins is laying there. And some kind of distraction or something's going to play, and Dean Ambrose is going to come out and basically help with Roman Reigns, help Rollins defeat Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins will capture the Universal Championship. And that will be Dean's final send-off into the sunset because he's leaving the company. So that's what my prediction is right there. Rollins, I agree with Chris Rose. Rollins is going to get the Universal Championship. But I love what you say, Carnage. I love that. I love that. That's good. That's good. Now, the main event. This is the first time. This is the first time right here. It kind of makes sense, though, but I'm wondering where the hell they're going to be going with this one right here. Okay. You have Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, who is the SmackDown Women's Champion, against the man, Becky Lynch, in a winner-take-all match. Carnage.
Okay, so let's harken back to a little bit earlier in the show where I told you about Alexa Bliss being our host for WrestleMania. This is part of a greater angle to try and make the last domino fall as part of the women's revolution of wrestling. And we know and have seen the greatness that has happened in every step between 60-minute Iron Woman matches, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, main eventing Raw, main eventing a pay-per-view, having a women's only pay-per-view, all the pegs that have fallen on the way to the last peg, the ending point of the women's revolution, to bring everything full circle, and that's having a women's main event. And I feel that when this match was announced, a lot of people were intrigued and happy about this, but I feel WWE maybe felt they wanted to take it another step further with bringing the SmackDown title into this as well and making it the winner-take-all. And the work between all three, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, and Becky Lynch, has been amazing.
Yes.
Obviously, we know two are a little bit better on the mic than one other, but Ronda Rousey holds her own very well in this entire feud between the three of them that has honestly been long building and has had so many twists and turns to finally come to this moment that I feel I might have called on one of our podcasts at one point sometime last year that this moment was going to happen. And now we're finally getting it. This is winner take all. Ronda Rousey not winning this match. Charlotte Flair, on the other hand, is also not winning this match. Becky Lynch is going to go over and win the Raw and SmackDown titles because she is the man.
Nice. Nice. Love it. I love it. Chris Rose, chime in on this, man. This is great.
Yes, ever since Ronda Rousey came to the WWE, I was wanting her to go against Charlotte Flair because she came out at the Rumble, got in the ring with Asuka and Charlotte. It was a great moment for the company. Then we fast forward, she's the Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey is. Charlotte and Becky is at SummerSlam, going for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And all of a sudden, Becky slaps Charlotte in the face, and it brings us full circle to where we are now.
Yes.
Becky is the man. Becky is, in some sorts, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
It is the exact same thing. Becky has been a rebel. She has, done a very good job at in this angle right now. Ronda Rousey is definitely someone who's caught on to the business very well. her microphone work, that comes with time. But in ring is amazing. And I think this build is by far the best. These 3 women are not only, they're women as well, but they're the best 3 workers in the company right now. They have the 3 most, popularity.
Yes.
And it has come full circle, like Carnage said. This is the main event of WrestleMania, and these 3 are carrying that, and they definitely deserve it. They draw the most money every night. And my prediction, though, is Becky Lynch. She's done a very good job. I love the swerve with Charlotte winning the SmackDown Women's title because, honestly, I love Asuka, and I like all those women on SmackDown, but the title hasn't meant anything, really.
Yeah.
So having Charlotte win it and having it be winner take all is very interesting. But I'm gonna have to go with Becky on this one.
I'm gonna have to agree with you guys on this one because I followed Becky Lynch since NXT days all the way up to now, and where she's at now. She's so over that if she was even more over, then there wouldn't be another word to describe it because of everything that she did and stuff, and where she's at right now. Yeah, she is the female version of this era's Stone Cold Steve Austin, without shadow of doubt. Mm-hmm. Even Austin gave her props on it too, man. He's definitely like, hell yeah. Austin's like, I think that's cool too, man. So he loves that. He loves that. Now, yeah, Flair being in, it goes back to also too that Charlotte Flair has said that she would love to main event a WrestleMania. Well, this is her moment. She's main event in a WrestleMania. And Ronda's come in within a year and has been a full force. She's developed. We've seen it in the last year where she started from last year with that mixed tag match with Kurt Angle against Stephanie and Triple H, all the way to now. She's come full circle, and she's gotten better at the mic. She's gotten better in the ring, and it's pretty sad when you have someone like Nia Jax that Ronda has to carry that match for, who's been in wrestling longer than her. Come on now. Becky Lynch, all the way. Becky Lynch is going to take winner-take-all match. Now, I want to ask you guys this. Do you think that if Becky wins the SmackDown and Raw Women's Championship match, do you guys think that they're going to unify the belts, or what are they going to do?
So that's the thing about this. It's so unpredictable. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But the only logical reason, like the women's tag team championships, both Raw and SmackDown can go for the women's tag team titles. I believe they'll probably more than likely unify the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship.
They could. Carnage?
Well, the big thing I look at this, they could, but I feel like if they were to take that angle, inevitably they would end up having to combine other titles, like the tag titles for the men, the Universal and WWE championships. So unless they're going to take an angle with that, I don't see it happening. Kind of what I see happening is I see her just trying to be exactly as she promotes herself to be, and that's the man, and try to carry both titles on both brands until she reaches a point where she ends up losing both titles, maybe in the same match, maybe in separate matches. I'd like to see it maybe kind of go back all the way kind of like to a WrestleMania 17 approach where they had Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle, with Kurt Angle as double champion and losing one title to each competitor, one to Jericho and obviously one to Benoit. So who knows what will happen, but again, WWE is very unpredictable sometimes. Yeah. So, and they are kind of gaining the ability to be able to keep people a little off kilter. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I think that later this year, SmackDown Live is going to be on Fox. I think it has something to
October.
do with that. October. I think it has something to do with that because Fox has said they want to see Raw talent that's on Monday Night Raw on SmackDown because they paid out millions for this.
And
You heard
apparently
about-
SmackDown might be running 3 hours, as was announced recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a bigger plan that they're just setting up and setting the stones for later on down the road later this year that I agree with. I definitely agree with. But one thing I will say is, guys, that we've agreed on a lot of the matches on who's going to win and who's not going to win. There's been a couple times, 2 or 3 times here. I'm just taking a stab in the dark here that we all, had our different takes on who's going to win a match and stuff. But all in all, WrestleMania 35 is a stacked card, man. It's a stacked card. April 7th, this Sunday at 7 p.m. on the WWE Network. That's when WrestleMania kicks off. They will have that pre-show, I believe, at 5 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah, something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
But I also have to say one thing. Elias is performing.
Yes. Can't forget musical guest Elias.
What's going to happen there? Is there going to be an interruption?
Yeah. Since
Maybe an impromptu match.
Since you brought that up, Chris Rose, what's your prediction on that there? Elias performing, or are they going to let him perform? Finally.
I think either the returning Bray Wyatt or the Undertaker comes out.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
to
another one.
Elias.
That's another one right there. I forgot
That's
about.
a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, Undertaker is planned for something for Mania, but nothing's been mentioned. I forgot about that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris. Undertaker, yeah, showing up, knocking out Elias with the guitar or something.
Yes,
Impromptu
he's in the
match,
ring
Team
doing
Tug.
his thing. The lights go out. Taker's behind him. Gives him a choke slam. Tombstone.
That's it.
Let Taker do his thing.
That's it.
Doesn't hurt Elias at all.
Yeah.
Just throws out that WrestleMania moment.
WrestleMania moment. That's what Vince loves. Vince loves those WrestleMania moments.
He does. He does. One moment that Deathmatch Russell on the chat is waiting for his Nicholas to come back. That's you.
Hey, that's former tag team champion.
Yeah, former tag team champion, the youngest tag team champion in the company. That was in the company though, but
Oh my goodness.
guys, this is gonna, like I said, stack card is going to be great to see moments happen, and basically, this is going to be after this pay-per-view this Sunday. Boom, they're going to hit the reset button, and we got stuff building for another year. And one thing I'd love to have is I love to do a prediction show like we did that one year, Chris Carnage, like we did with McShaft. That we did.
McShaft Mania.
Yeah, the McShaft Mania. Well,
Yeah, I
remember
remember
the
that.
Superstar Shake-Up prediction thing?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to actually do that. Do a Superstar Shake-Up prediction show with you guys. And sometime here.
I'm down.
And later of this month, I believe. Because, excuse me, you guys heard about the Superstar Shake-Up they're going to probably be doing in April this month here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Chris Rose, a couple years ago, me and Chris Carnage and McShaft, we did a Superstar Shake-Up prediction show, which was great. Who we thought, which wrestler was going to go to which show, which was great. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll definitely see what happens, though. But we pretty much have run to the end of this podcast tonight. And I want to thank the Chris Rose, the Kentucky Zone United States champion, for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Any last words, any plugs you want to throw out there before we close this podcast up, champ?
Next week, April 13th, Shopville, Kentucky, I will be defending my United States Championship against Crutch. Hope everybody can make it out to see me defeat him and prolong my reign as the undisputed United States champion all the way to 2020.
Nice. Awesome. Chris Carnage, you have any other last words?
Definitely. Make sure that you go check out Final Score now on Google Play Music. Just search keyword Final Score. You can also find us on Spotify by also searching keyword Final Score. And you can also find us on social media on Facebook at /PCN Final Score, on Twitter at PCN Final Score, and on Podbean to download our latest episodes. Just go to pcnfinalscore.podbean.com and definitely check out everything we're doing. We'll have episode 9 coming out later this week, and some little things going on for the Chris Carnage show, little secrets going on, little whispers, that's why I'm talking low. So definitely make sure that you check out Chris Carnage social media on Twitter at Planet Carnage, on Facebook at /Chris Carnage Official, and check out all the craziness going on. A lot of things going on for the Podcast City Network, including, if you guys have not looked, Podcast City Network website has been a little bit redesigned. So go check it out. Go to podcastcity.net. Check out all the cool stuff we're doing on over there.
Nice. And you can follow Everett Lee over on Facebook on the Everett Lee, and on Twitter at the Everett_Lee. I've had too much red, what do you call it? Wicked, blah, 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 whatever the hell.
I've run out of whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of Blue Moon here.
So when we run out of drinks, that means it's...
But there will be plenty of alcohol around the house for WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
We got TakeOver tomorrow night, which I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
One match in particular, Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls.
Yes.
That's probably going to steal the show of all matches all weekend, so I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to throw out there also, too, Saturday, besides the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame, you got the New Japan ROH G1 special in Madison Square Garden, man.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a great weekend to be a wrestling fan. It is.
Definitely.
It is. Friday, NXT TakeOver. Saturday, Hall of Fame. G1 special, Madison Square Garden. Sunday, WrestleMania. And so, therefore...
The Hall of Fame card this year is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of good names. I love it.
And it was announced today Hulk Hogan will be inducting Brutus Beefcake, so
yes, that's
see what happens.
What you talking about, brother?
brother.
Well, at least we don't have Mr. T up there talking about his mama, you know. My mama.
And going over on time.
Yeah. I love that. I have to throw that out there. Kane comes out and he's like...
had to play him off.
You got to get off stage. I got to talk about my daddy. That was great, but anyway, that is our prediction show, and this is the Deleted Wrestling Podcast, and we are signing off here on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check us out on the next episode of the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. Signing off. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you again. Peace.